So hey guys, welcome to my channel. I am Sitij and today we will be doing Leetcode problem number 881, that is boat to save people. In the given problem statement, we are given an array people where people at I is the weight of the ith person, and we can have an infinite number of boat where each can carry a maximum weight of limit. We are also said that boat carries at most 2 people at the same time, provided that the sum of the weight of those people at most is under limit. So all we have to do is to return the minimum number of boats to carry every given person. Next, we'll be moving on to the sample test cases to better understand the question. In the first sample test case, we are given an array of people having weight of 1 and 2, and we are also given a limit which is equal to 3. So we are required to find the minimum number of boats to carry these 2 people to the other side. So as our limit is 3 and at most we can carry 2 people, we can see that if we carry 1 and 2 both at the same time, our sum is equal to 3, which is at most equal to the limit given. Thus using one boat itself, we can carry these 2 people. Thus our answer is equal to the 1. In the second test case, we are given an people weight as 3, 2, 2 and 1. And we are also given a limit of at max 3. Now since we know that at max at once we can carry only 2 people, we can break this array such that the limit is always less than 3. So in first boat we can distribute people having weight 1 and 2, that is this and this. Next, for the second boat, since the limit is 3 and we are left with only these 2 elements which adds up to 5, which is obviously more than 3. Therefore we have to make such an arrangement that they have to go alone. So at minimum we require at least 3 boats to carry all of them. And if you see, there is no any other possible arrangement to get minimum answer less than 3, right? In the third case, we are given an array of people having weight 3, 5, 3 and 4, and the limit is at max given as 5. Now if we notice, we can't form any pair such that their sum is equal to or less than the limit itself. So what we have to do is to send every people on separate boat itself, and that is how we get an answer that is equal to the 4, since we are required to send each of the person in different boat. Now after doing all these 3 test cases, did we find any pattern? The answer is yes. We found a pattern. We see 2 things. First, that no people have the weight more than limit, right? If we see any of the example, no people have weight more than equal to limit. Thus there is always the possibility that all the people at any time will be going in the boat either alone or in the pair. Next, at any given time, we will always try to make such a pair of people that the lightest and the heaviest people go together. Like we can't make 2 heaviest people go together. Why? Since the sum of 2 heaviest people may always be more than or equal to the limit, which is not an optimized way to solve a problem. Now we know that heaviest and lightest must go together. Now what? Now if we are given array people having weight something like 3, 2, 2, 1 and limit is equal to 3. Now how do you make sure that at any given ith position we are getting the lightest and the heaviest person to make a pair? The answer is sorting. Now if we sort any given array in the ascending order, we will always get the lightest element at the first position and the heaviest element at the last position. So this is how we approach this problem. Now what? We saw that sorting will definitely help. Next, what must be done? I say we can definitely use 2-pointer approach to solve further this problem. Like for any given array such as 3, 2, 2 and 1, the first thing we can do is to sort it, after which we will get 1, 2, 2 and 3. Next we can initialize 2-pointer, one at the beginning which can be the lightest and one at the ending which will be the heaviest. Next we will be traversing the array, and at each step we will try to find if the sum of the heaviest and lightest is under limit, then both can go together, and if the sum exceeds the limit, the heaviest person must go alone. We will update the heaviest and lightest and then increase the counter, and that is how we will get our answer. For our given array 3, 2, 2, 1, the first thing we can do is to sort it, after which we will get 1, 2, 2 and 3. The next thing we can do is to initialize and pointer to the first position as lightest and at the last position as heaviest, and at each iteration we will try to check if the sum of heaviest and lightest is somehow less than limit or not. Here the limit is 3, which is definitely not equal to 4. As a result, we cannot make pair of 3 and 2, and as per our algorithm 3 must go alone, right? So we make a pair of 3 and update our counter to 1. Now our heaviest is pointing to this location and the lightest still pointing to the 0th index. Now again we will check if the sum of the index 0 and sum of index 2 is somehow less than or equal to the limit or not, and here we indeed find that it is less than equal to the limit, which is 3. As a result, as per our algorithm, the current lightest and highest can make a pair, and we will update our pair from 1 and 2, and we will also increase our counter to 2. Now our lighter element is also pointing to the first index and heaviest is also pointing to the first index. Since both of them are pointing to the same index, the sum of heaviest and lightest will not be equal to the limit, as it gives 4, which is definitely not equal to or less than limit. As a result, we have to make a single pair of the heaviest, which is pointing to the first index, which is 2. We will update our pair and increase our result to 3. Now since heaviest and lightest is pointing to the same element, we will break out of the while loop and return our answer, which is actually 3. And if we see our pairs, we indeed get correct pairs, and also the answer is the minimum possible. Next we are moving on to the code to better understand the algorithm. Now this is our code, and the first thing that we are doing is to sorting people according to their weight. Next we are initializing 2 pointers, one at the beginning and one at the end, and at each while loop we are trying to find if the sum of people at the heaviest and the people at the lowest is somehow more than limit. If it is, the heaviest must go alone. As a result, the rightmost pointer will decrease by 1. And if the sum is not more than equal to the limit, all we have to do is to increase the left pointer and decrease the right pointer. At the same time we will also increase our result, and whenever our left and right pointer is pointing to the same people, we will break out of the loop and return our answer. Let's try to run our code and see if we have written a correct code or not. Indeed, we have written a correct code and all our sample test cases are getting accepted. Next we must submit and see if it passes all the test cases Indeed, it is passing all the test cases, and that is how we completed our day 24 Leetcode challenge, and we will meet again tomorrow. Until then, keep coding, keep learning.